As more and more states are passing pro-life laws, abortion advocates are renewing their push for mail-ordered abortion pills. The Atlantic published an article recently titled "The Abortion Backup Plan No One Is Talking About." In it, writer Olga Kazan says an alternative to Texas's heartbeat law is for women to order abortion pills online instead of going to an abortion clinic for the procedure. Here's an excerpt from that Atlantic article. Pregnant people in Texas or in any other U.S. state can visit an array of websites that will mail them two pills, mifepristone and misoprostol, that will induce a miscarriage when used in the first trimester of pregnancy and possibly even later. The so-called self-managed abortion is therefore an option at least 6 weeks further into a pregnancy than the controversial new Texas law's 6-week heartbeat cutoff for an abortion at a clinic. And joining us now to discuss this is Dr. Tara Sandra Lee. She's a senior fellow and director of life sciences at the Charlotte Lozier Institute. She is a pro-life scientist with 20 years experience in academic and clinical medicine. Welcome back to the show. The author of this Atlantic article says the abortion pills will result in a miscarriage, but can you clarify what actually happens when a woman takes these two abortion pills?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, the authors need to remind themselves what the definition of a miscarriage is. So a miscarriage is going to be completely unplanned. It's naturally occurring. It is not intentional. Unlike if a woman takes these abortion pills, it's going to be very intentional. It's going to kill the child, and it's going to induce the death of this child, and it is planned. So it is nothing. A miscarriage is nothing like an abortion.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's offensive to conflate the two. And Dr. Tara Sandra Lee, abortion pills present unique dangers to a woman's health. Can you expand on that and why safeguards are essential?
Yes, absolutely. So abortion pills are incredibly dangerous. In fact, they are 4 times more dangerous than surgical abortion, and I know that that can sometimes surprises people, but we know that because of large international studies, large meta-analyses, and more recently we know that because of a report, a national study that was done here in the United States that examined cases of death and cases of adverse events that were reported to the FDA after women took the abortion pill. And what they found is they actually identified 20 deaths of mothers that took the abortion pill. They identified over 500 life-threatening complications. They identified about 2,000 severe adverse events, and they range anywhere from a ruptured ectopic pregnancy to infection, to hemorrhage and excess bleeding that even sometimes requires a transfusion. So these safeguards are incredibly important to protect these women that take these abortion pills. It's also important to protect these women against any potential abusers, and such as pimps that might pressure women to have an unwanted abortion. So these safeguards are incredibly important to protect these women from harm.
Abortion pills are used early on in a woman's pregnancy, and abortion advocates often do not recognize the humanity of a child, especially in those early stages. But what do we know about a baby's development even in the first few weeks when these pills are used?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, it's unfortunate that we have to keep reminding people that a baby is a baby in the womb. And so let me just start by saying within the first few weeks, there's an incredible amount that is happening. We know that the baby's body plan has already emerged to give rise to all the tissues and organs. We know that the heart is rhythmically beating. We know that the brain is developing into its specialized subsections. And we know that there are so many other amazing facts about these babies within the first few weeks. So we actually encourage people to go to our new website called voyageoflife.com to see all the incredible events that are happening just within the first few weeks.
Yes, that is I encourage viewers to go there as well. And from your perspective as a medical and scientific expert, how concerning are these websites where women can go and order abortion pills? And do you see this as a growing concern in states that are passing pro-life laws because abortion advocates might use this as some sort of loophole?
Yeah, we are actually very concerned, and we are concerned that they will use this as a loophole. It's incredibly dangerous to obtain any of these drugs off of the internet. Just to remind people that the FDA has regulated the use of these abortion pills, and there are only a couple of FDA-approved companies that can distribute these drugs. So if you obtain these drugs from the internet, it's incredible. It's not safe. It's not, and we know that because the FDA actually in 2019 issued a warning letter, a cease and desist warning letter, telling these organizations such as Aid Access that are overseas that they have to stop sending these pills through the mail to these women because they aren't safe, because they are not regulated by the FDA. And we know that this is incredibly dangerous for women, and we are concerned that as states pass these laws, that they might use this as a loophole and put women in even more danger on top of taking the abortion pill itself.
And of course, we never hear about those dangers from the abortion industry. And, I just think it's important to know, and we can have a whole separate conversation about this, but abortion pills can be reversed. And that, again, I just want to point that out as we're speaking of this. Doctor, we have about a minute left, but because this has been seen as a backup plan to Texas's heartbeat law, can you speak about the importance of Texas's heartbeat law? I know the Biden administration, as we reported, is asking the Supreme Court to stop it.
Yeah, no, we think that this law is incredibly important. I mean, every day that it's in effect, it's saving about 100 lives. And so we have to remember that the people of Texas wanted this law. They democratically elected the bipartisan leadership that wrote this law and then passed it and is now signed into law, and it's saving these babies. And so they wanted this law, and it's just a reminder to those that many times don't want to be reminded of this, that the baby does in fact have a heartbeat at this time, and that every time that they allow these women to have an abortion, it is ending a life. And so this law is protecting lives every day, the longer it's kept into effect. And we know this scientifically, and if President Biden would follow the science, he would know that this is an important law that's actually saving lives within our country.
We cannot forget the humanity of the unborn child. Dr. Tara Sandra Lee with the Charlotte Lozier Institute, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Catherine. Have a great day.
You as well.